This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Fire keep burning, can't cool. Yo, the more than try to kill women and the more we live longer. More than try to live women and the more we get stronger. More than try to fool women and the more we get wiser. Can't cool, the fire get trigger on the street.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, the Free National Movement, John's Department Store, Kelly's Home Center, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Prince Masters, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, and Tropical Gyros.
And I know the youth them seats. We can't free for them, so we must free for speak. And the high trade go reach. And I know the youth them seat. Them say one burn the fire, call and jig and teach. And the high trade go reach. And I know the youth them seat. We can't free for them. Yo, righteousness listen up at them come reject. Be a corruption, yes, he said them are accept. Pan them earwaves and then internet. And what them tell live vibe, then a totally mess. Be a to them right, telling and them concept.
You've got it locked and loaded to the Friday, November 14th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with Mary Jane in your company right up until 6 p.m. We do have a special guest today, and she'll be joining us in short order. The ratified F&M candidate for Kalani, Miss Michaela Barnett Ellis, should be joining us in short order. But MJ, it's Friday.
Yes, indeed.
And listen, I was trying to surprise you. Mm-hmm. But I think you pretty much know, you can know where I got them from.
Okay.
But the two new washers that'll be in the house by Monday.
Could you please don't even joke about that? Do not.
My granny was from Green Turtle. I still have connections.
Don't joke about that. But before we get started, I just want to thank a very special Talking Heads listener that we got to meet a few minutes ago. Finally, one of our very loyal listeners. So
Mr.
shout
Hardy
out
Johnson.
to Mr. Johnson. It was
all
a pleasure.
All the way from Exuma.
Eleuthera. Correct, Eleuthera. So it was a pleasure to meet you, and we hope you have a great weekend.
And congratulations to Hardy. He's being awarded by Rotary.
Big time.
And then he's got a big function tomorrow night where he's being awarded again as well.
Nice.
And he does a great job down there with the kids with that tennis program.
He does.
And, I, on behalf of MJ and Pearlie, would like to thank you for the hats, Hardy. We'll add them to our collection.
Beautiful.
On behalf of myself and MJ, because I know if I don't give some of the pineapple tart to MJ, you'll hit me with a tennis racket. So
you don't have a chance of keeping all of that from me. No way.
Me and you, Pearlie, don't need to know nothing but them pineapple
But you
tart.
just said it, so yeah, Pearlie, I'll secure you.
They could be gone by the time Pearlie get here, so that I have no problem with that.
Well, we'll see.
Look, you can't send me to jail if there ain't no evidence, ain't no gun, ain't no tart, ain't no gun.
You're eating the whole tart? Oh, you're a mess.
There's 4 tarts. I know you're going to enjoy the one for you.
Yes.
And then the other 3.
Anyway.
Them belongs to me.
Do better.
But I could have taken 4.
No, you couldn't have.
I'm giving you
No,
one.
you couldn't have. But
right.
Nice try.
But thanks again, Hardy. Greatly appreciate it, and congratulations on your awards. And we appreciate, you being part of the Talking Heads family and chiming in on a regular from Eleuthera, keeping us up to snuff. And may your house still have power, water, when you arrive home.
Oh, boy.
Okay?
Now you just jinxed it.
No, I got to make sure, man.
I know.
Hardy will hit me with daily updates. Well, they're gone again, Naughty. So
Rough times.
All right, so if you want to chime in and be part of the conversation, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free in any one of the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go, GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh new smart talk all day, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. And, of course, big part of the conversation going into the weekend, the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
Here's what's blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views of Madison's 1844, all brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. Pintard claims probe into bag of passports. Big headline. OPM says not so. So we have another soap opera in Bahamian politics.
And I think they said more than not so. I think that may have been the first time I noticed the use of the word lie in official government communications.
And
it was used more than once. Which I have to say, because we'll, I guess, eventually get to the meat of the matter, but just that escalation in language is kind of disappointing.
I don't get it. The OPM, didn't use their favorite word, misspoke. Like when this administration lies, they say misspoke. So why couldn't they continue and use the word misspoke?
It's just a strange escalation. So, I mean, yeah, that happened.
Well, at the end of the day, eventually it will all come out. And we'll see exactly what's going on. But I mean, if there's any truth to that, that is crazy. Can you imagine?
Well,
the compromise that our democracy
we're going to have to find out sooner than later, the veracity of the claims themselves. But like I said, the response has been quite strong. And I'm just surprised that, because when you speak for a party, there's particular language that you can get away with using. When you speak for the state, the standard is different. It's much higher. So to see that word appear in that official press release was shocking, to say the least. I think we kind of crossed the Rubicon and what we're going to consider. And it's so ironic. The deputy prime minister the other day spoke about decency and all that kind of stuff. It's very, very interesting.
What I found ironic is the OPM Director of Communications, Latreille. I mean, he got that nickname because why?
Behave. Okay.
We got a couple. I mean, we call it and we talk it.
We'll get to the bottom of it eventually. But yeah, our institutions should remain above the fray.
And I think there was
the partisan fray.
Wasn't there another statement released later on today with a little bit of possible? I think. Might be some moonwalking maybe by Monday.
Oh, you mean more dignified language that the Bahamian people should expect?
I can try clean up what I was really trying to say.
And the position doesn't have to change. The position can remain the same. If they feel as though what Mr. Pintard said is not factual, then yes, I can see pushback from government about that. That makes sense. I'm just saying that the escalation in the language is not usual and typical. And I'm very surprised that statement went out as an official OPM government statement and not a partisan political statement with the word lie riddled through it the way it was. That is not usual.
And, considering that office itself has come into question with some of the releases they've put out, it's very ironic. Glasshouse dwellers, wax on, wax off, like Miyagi say. Windex on, Windex off. All right, some other headlines blazing up the pages. F&M says PLP has failed Golden Isles. 283 voters registered for Golden Isles advanced poll. Barge runs aground on reef off Abaco. We will definitely talk about that. But again, one whole tuna wash out of that,
Just, you better stop.
And some dog food, but MJ don't know about the dog
I don't know, but nothing. Nothing but nothing.
Royal Beach Club would be a win-win, DPM says. I'm laughing because I can't call bullshit. Sorry. Anything to do with a resort or a hotel, Mr. Cooper, you are right with me. But no, sir. Anything from you talk about hotel or resort, we got a pod base right there. I don't need to hear nothing else or no new development until you tell me what's really going on with the Grand Lucayan. Please. Not for my sake, not for your sake, not for Freeport's sake, not for Bahamian people's sake, not for potential voters' sake, but for Jesus' sake. Just let us know what's going on with that. Because nobody really on your run with this. Anyhow, let's go to the phone lines. Because I'm trying to keep a straight face off of that one. Talking heads.
I want to know what the meat looks like before I decide if I should taste it or not. Godly day to you all. Have fun.
Thank you, Brayman. I appreciate that parable. I'll figure it out by the end of the show.
For sure.
Let's get to the other calls. Talking heads.
Yes. Good afternoon to both of you, and good afternoon to wider Bahamas. I ain't got a lot to say today. Very easy to understand. I want you to pay attention that the response came from the Office of the Prime Minister, which at least a dozen or more times during this term, the Prime Minister then walked back what was said. Now, I want you also to understand that the Prime Minister and other ministers have made statements at least a dozen times, not counting the dozen time in the House of Assembly, which should have resulted in them resigning from the office, even including the Prime Minister, that they have walked back and denied that we have then found out to be true. So I'm just simply saying to you, this is a pattern of the Progressive Liberal Party is deny, distract, and then try to gaslight us later on. Just follow the pattern, plain and simple. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you
Let's
so
get
much.
to the other calls. Talking Heads.
We don't hate you. You're just naughty by nature.
What's going on?
Mary Jane,
Hey, GNN.
What's going on, GNN?
if I tell you what's happening, naughty, you may talk it.
Well, that's my job. What's going on? I mean,
Well, that's true. Okay. Yes, C. Allen. I piggybacking off C. Allen Johnson just now. I can give you all the sad news first. In the last Christie administration, remember those boxes of passports that was caught going down south? That was found going south. Remember the visas that were being sold for $2,500 a piece?
I remember them stories.
Exactly. Well, there was 3 persons involved that was caught by CDU. And when the CDU called the highest office regarding those things, the office told CDU not to charge the 3 men and to release them. Okay? Now, there was a subsequent meeting with the then Prime Minister, Terry Gladstone Christie, with that particular minister. And I understand from my sources on the wall that it was a cuss-out, and that particular minister walked out of the office, slammed the door, and tell the then Prime Minister, do what you got to do. Okay?
Boy, you got some sources. You got some sources.
Well, I don't know what wall that
You got
is,
some
but
sources, boy, GNN.
yeah, but that's a solid wall.
Remember, so fast forward to today. What it feel like, Mary J? Deja vu?
Oh, all over again.
Exactly. So C. Allen, I think I riding by C. Allen today. Now, the good news. Pearl came to see me today. Pearl Williams.
Okay.
Oh, good.
She is back to work.
Oh, awesome.
She's looking good. She changed her stride. She got a breast stride now.
Oh.
There you go.
So I
good
want
stuff.
to let the nation know that Pearl Williams is back on the job, and I think Dr. Doolittle has
So
not
shake
finished
a lot?
the investigation. Huh?
So shake a lot.
Yeah, he ain't finished the investigations yet, but she's back to work.
She's back on the job.
She's looking pretty and she's smiling.
Oh, good stuff. That was so
I
good
hope
to
you let her
hear.
know you have a couple of friends with a platform in case they play around again.
Man, she doesn't know that now. 3
All right.
weeks we put this out there, you know.
No, but I mean, this is the only place in the world I know that tries to persecute whistleblowers rather than protect them.
Yeah, well,
It
like
makes
you say, the
no
same
sense.
thing. What this government is do is deny, persecute you, throw you under the bus until proven not guilty, eh? That's what it's
Until
about.
proven innocent.
So thanks for taking GNN.
Have a
call.
great
Yeah, man,
weekend,
GNN, have
GNN.
a good one. Boy, we got lots to talk about.
And we have a special guest.
So we
So
will get to that. We're going to take the first break right now. Flip side of the break, we'll jump back in. And we'll start the conversation. We'll do the week in review with our special guest. Like I told you, F&M ratified candidate for Kalani, Miss Michaela Barnett Ellis. That's our special guest coming up. And the week in review starts right after this on the flip side of the break when we get into the buzz. All brought to you, of course, by John Shoes. Phone lines open, text lines open. Let's go.
The more we reach further, more them try to kill me, and the more me live longer. More them try to weak me, and the more me get stronger. Can't fool before you get redder. We see it, and the heights where it go reach. And I know the youth them see it, them say go on, burn the fire, call and J go and teach. And the heights where it go reach.
Resident of Golden Isles, in my community for quite a while. Serving since 2021. This time around is Brian Brown. B is for Brian, B is for Brown. Golden Isles and the F&M taking over town. B is for Brian, B is for Brown. Golden Isles and the F&M taking over town. Brian Brown.
This This message has been brought to you by the Free National Movement.
What happens when your faves team up? You get an original Asiago Bacon Club. Enjoy the iconic taste of KFC's 11 herbs and spices with a bite into KFC's original recipe chicken filet layered with Asiago cheese, crisp lettuce, tomato, bacon, our signature ranch, all on a golden brioche bun. KFC's original Asiago Bacon Club is made fresh, made right, available only at KFC. It's finger licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Man, I can't wait to eat. I am starving.
You know our spot never disappoints. Boy, I left my wallet in the room. No way I'm going back.
Relax, buddy. You've got your phone, right?
Yeah, I do. Perfect. Just pay with $100 from your digital wallet. Good thing $100 transactions are seamless, safe, and convenient.
Yep, $100 saved the day.
Experience the convenience of $100, the digital currency of the Bahamas. Whether you're dining out or anywhere else, $100 ensures seamless transactions. Join the future of payments with $100.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John Shoes.
Fire keep burning, can't cool, can't cool, can't cool. Yo, and the more them try to kill women and the more we live longer. More them try to win women and the more me get stronger. More them try to fool me and the more me get wiser. Can't cool, the fire get redder on the street. And the more them try to stop women and the more we reach further. More them try to kill me and the more me live longer. More them try to weak me and the more me get stronger. Can't fool, the fire get redder on the street. And the heights where it go reach. And I know the youth them see it, them say go on burn the fire, call and jig one teach. And the heights where it go reach. And I know the youth them see it, we can't free for dumb, so we must free to speak. And the heights where it go reach. And I know the youth them see it, them say go on burn the fire, call and jig one teach. And the heights where it go reach. And I know the youth them see it, we can't free for dumb. Yo, righteousness listen up at them come reject. Be a corruption, yes, he said them are accept. Pan them earwaves and them internet. And what them tell live vibe, then I totally mess. Be up to them right, telling and them concept. Be a propaganda, them spreading at the press. Imagine what them promote a be a home sex, by your sex, oral sex.
We're back at you on the Friday, November 14th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty back at you, MJ back at you. We'll get to our special guest right now, but before we do, we like to keep you in the know, get you where you want to go, and listen, if you want to upgrade your cellular device, PTC has definitely got it hooked up for you. MJ, boo.
That's right. This is definitely the deal you've been waiting for. It's here for 2 days only. That's this Thursday and today, Friday. BTC is turning up the heat. Sign up for the $64.99 postpaid plan at BTC Mall or the Southwest Plaza location and score the all-new iPhone 16, 256 gigs for just $5.99. That's $100 off of the regular price. But you got to move fast because when Friday's gone, when it's over today, yep, this deal is gone too. So what are you waiting for? Run to BTC at the Mall at Marathon or at the Southwest Plaza and grab your new iPhone 16 today. And that really is a great deal. You see how much storage that is? 256 gigs. You know what I could do with that?
256.
Oh my goodness. Download all my favorite movies.
I already, plotting to make a call to BTC. to the BTC
because I got a really old iPhone. But I don't really change I don't change my phone often. Like some people change every year.
That's one thing that
but deals
the
like
boys
that,
and I have tried to do over the years and been shut down. Listen, before you think about a new phone, I don't want to do something else, take that money and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, like the screen got to be cracked, the updates got to be out of date, that kind of stuff.
That's
and then
how I got to be friends
with
with Christian Louboutin and Jimmy Choo and, Manolo
put
Blahnik.
the money in better places.
Now I know who them dudes are.
I also want to say thank you to a very special listener. We're still not sure who it is, but you did leave a package for us downstairs at Guardian. We have received the package, so I want to say thank you very much. It is received with much thanks, and I love reading, so this is going to be awesome.
Definitely on MJ covered it for both of us, but I want to say thank you very much as well too. Greatly appreciated. Glad you enjoyed the show so much. Glad you think we're doing a good job, and I appreciate the gift. As soon as MJ has read it, which shouldn't take too long.
I read a lot, right?
I will read it too, and I'll let you know my input on it a little bit less. MJ will let you know, like probably by Tuesday. MJ will let you know it was a great read. Probably by next week this time, I'll let you know.
But thank you
I
very much to that special listener. All right,
and for the card too. Appreciate that.
Yes, the card, because you always know when it's a top-notch gift when it comes with a card as well. So thank you for that as well. So we have a very special guest with us in studio, no stranger to the show. As a matter of fact, a friend of the show. We're talking about the ratified candidate for Killarney, or should I say, the great constituency.
The great constituency of
Killarney.
The great constituency of Killarney. Thank you for having me, guys. Happy
Michael
Friday.
Barnett Ellis. Yes, happy Friday to you. You're looking great.
Let me tell you, I'm feeling Friday today. I'm feeling the Friday.
We know you had a big night last night.
Had a great last night, so I am feeling the energy. Viewers, I am in all red today.
Yep,
I'm fired up. It's all about Golden Guile, so I am looking forward to the weekend.
How was it though last night? The energy and I mean, I saw the clips online. It seemed like it was well attended. It seems like Golden Owls is behind Brian Brown.
Golden Owls is behind Brian Brown. Dignity Gardens is behind Brian Brown. It was, when you go to the rallies and you see the cars from way down the road before you even get to the rally site. So now you're thinking, okay, where am I going to park? Because if cars park all the way down here, that was the experience last night.
Listen, a couple of weeks ago, when all of this came out, I had a couple of long time PLP friends of mine. Yes, I have some PLP friends, just like I got Dolphin friends and LeBron fans who friends. They called me and asked me, they said, Naughty, what you say about LeBron and the Lakers using self-imposed exile from the Lakers and tell...
Right.
They said, well, guess what? We in self-imposed exile from the PLP doesn't go around.
Stop it.
And I thought it was a joke. I thought, but now I'm looking and I'm seeing and more people are vocalizing and including longtime PLPs in that constituency that listen, they're behind Brian Brown.
He's been on the ground. He was even campaign manager for Vaughn Miller. He has been on the ground for over 15 years. He's lived in the constituency for over 20 years.
With the late Charlie Maynard, Lord bless the dog.
With the late Charlie Maynard, he has I know Brian. Yeah, I know Brian. Brian with you, I know Brian. Everybody knows him. It's great, and there's an energy, and sometimes you knock on doors and people are telling us of the things that he has done that he has done for them. There was one door and the lady was like, consistent. When you do the pitch, you open with the line consistent, because he has been consistent. Everywhere you go in Golden Owls, and even outside Golden Owls, they see me, they know I'm an F&M candidate. They say, I live in Golden Owls, and then they proceed to tell me about Brian Brown. So it's a great energy in Golden Owls. I'm looking forward to the advance poll on Monday, and definitely looking forward to the by-election on
I see in the headlines today, 283 voters registered for the Golden Owls advance poll, so it seems like good numbers have turned out for that.
Yeah, 283 is a great number for an advance poll, so it means, you're not sitting there all day twiddling your thumbs. And it's great that our seniors get to vote early so that they don't have to get caught up in
and that speaks too, because there's a lot of seniors in that constituency. And so to see 283 out, that means they've been waiting.
Yeah, Brian does a island tour with the seniors once a month. A lot of seniors don't like to drive, or sometimes they're stuck home all day. Okay. So once a month they go on a drive throughout the island, and when you see the videos and the photos they have themselves a wild time.
Wow,
they have themselves
pretty cool.
Wild time.
No, that sounds
I
pretty
know
cool.
that's. I mean, and they say wild time. That means they having a good time.
Oh, yeah. Everybody is.
So it's not
everybody
like
is
just get on
laughing.
the bus and be quiet and drive.
No.
All right.
Yeah. And so they get to see what's happening. What's
Awesome.
happening in the island.
Now let us know what's going on in Killarney. I mean, how's it going for you?
You know what? Killarney has been a really great experience. We have gotten through, I want to say, probably about 50% of the polling divisions in Killarney, walking the streets. I expect to be extremely toned when this campaign season is finished. It's been a wonderful reception. People stop me in the road. People yell at me from balconies. People are just so excited to see the F&M on the road. We have some big things to unveil in the next few weeks. Almost finished the constituency office. So momentum is definitely continuing in Killarney, and we look forward to the campaign, and we look forward to Christmas.
Do we know whether or not the former prime minister is still going to contest that seat?
We don't, you don't know who's running until nomination day.
Right.
And that's the real day, right?
Yeah.
Everybody could do everything they want to do up until that moment, but until you pay that $400 and you
Right.
meet with the returning officer, you don't know who's running. So nomination day, we'll know.
Now we've seen the F&M leader, Mr. Pintard, Mr. Michael Pintard, make several statements yesterday. Statement about housing. And I think, Bahamians are eager to hear about that because every Bahamian wants an affordable piece of the rock. Let's be honest with you.
Oh.
And that's one of the top lists. If we could get it, we'd like to have it. And with it being an impasse for a minute from the previous administration to this administration, obviously there's land. We need to get it in Bahamians' hands inexpensively and obviously to hear 2,000 homes.
Per year.
Per year.
Housing is...
That's a commitment to housing.
It is a serious commitment to housing because it is a major investment. And for most families, it is the main source of wealth. It is the main asset. And for it to be out of reach of so many Bahamians, young and old, it's not a good thing. And so we have, as a caucus, as a party, talked about how we are going to improve housing and get more homes in the hands of Bahamians. So that includes bringing down the cost of constructing homes. It includes being more creative in terms of how we do housing units. So it means vertical construction, maybe apartment buildings with multiple stories, as well as single home dwellings. There also, when you look in the real estate in the market, there are also a lot of empty homes available for purchase, but they are insanely they're completely priced outside the market. So that's one of the things that we're also looking at as well. How can we make those houses more affordable, or how can we assist Bahamians in purchasing those houses? Because it kind of, building more houses when we have so many vacant dwelling homes is also counterproductive and could also
Well, along those lines with vacant dwellings, would something similar to Section 8 in the United States maybe be applicable, where there's, government assistance, provided to these homeowners, and then they obviously set them up for rental properties for, lower income families to have an affordable property that makes a difference.
And you know what, that also solves another problem that we have, which is the amount of units available in the rental market, because there's so many persons with second homes or income earning properties that are using them as Airbnbs and making it, Airbnbs are more profitable than that long-term rental. And so persons looking for long-term rental, the inventory is very small. And so that's also one of the things we also want to look at and improve, because there is a need for home ownership as well as more inventory in the rental market.
Do we have a dollar figure roughly on what this will cost us? 2,000 homes a year that's a big idea.
It is a big idea, but you have to remember it's not necessarily constructing 2,000 homes, right? And it is also making sure that construction is more affordable. So it's a multifaceted approach.
And
so
that's something the government can do.
A blanket dollar, umbrella dollar figure on.
But hundreds of millions? I mean, to me, 2,000 homes doesn't sound like a cheap
venture. It's definitely not a cheap venture, but you have to be, creative. You have to be creative about it. And therefore I will leave the math to the finance persons.
Gotcha.
But I would guess that some Bahamians, rather than wait for a home in a subdivision, not that there's anything wrong with a subdivision, but in that they said, well, wow, me and my wife or fiance, we continually pass this property that we see in this part of the island. You know, now it's an opportunity because that's more like a dream home. I know, boy, I know MJ like this. If we could get this, boy.
Yes.
And that gives people another opportunity to say, okay, I got a piece of the rock, but I went this way, but there was still an opportunity to get it.
Yes. And I think a good thing is the government kind of controls some of the levers that drive up the cost of construction. So there you have avenues there where you could make it much more affordable.
And what you want to do is give people options, right? Because not everybody, there's some people who want to live in a subdivision and have neighbors and have a community. And then there's some people who, we don't want to be so close to everybody else, who have other ideas of how they want to achieve their home ownership. And so the key is to also have options available to suit as many persons' needs as possible. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all housing plan.
All right, let's get this call and we'll get back. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, MJ,
Hey,
and
Jeff.
Dr. Mr. Ellis. Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
Very interesting conversation here. I have always been one, in fact, we don't even have to reinvent the wheel. We can look around the world and we can look at the different perspectives that works in those countries and then try to apply to see whether they would work in our particular environment. I know some time ago there was a talk about renting to own homes, and
what happened to that?
With the way the economy is in this country today, the average person, realistically, can't even really afford to buy a piece of property anymore if they find it. And to do a rent to own process, it also inspires the person who is renting to own to have a more deeper stake into what it is that they're renting. I think we need to look more into that aspect of finding the land that we want and do the rent to own, have these persons buy into it, and then move from there. But before I go, the last point to add to that is I would like to hear the opposition forces speak to the aspect of abolishing the real property tax on a lot of these persons' homes, whereas you have already spent over 25, 30 years on a piece of property with your home and so on and so forth. Just at the end of the day, the government can come because you have not paid your real property tax to come and snatch it away from you. I think it's totally unfair. I believe that, hey, it's going to take a bold set of people to really consider these things, to abolish these things, and move on to some other aspects where we could actually bring monies into our coffers, such as even the income taxes, which a lot of people reside in this country. We don't know where they derive their monies from. We don't know what it is, how they get their monies, but yet they're not paying their fair share of taxes to reside in this country. I believe that, too, is something we should look at.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking my
Thank
call.
you so much.
Good stuff, Jeff. Have a good weekend.
We'll let Senator Barnett Ellis answer.
We got one more call. Let's get that in and then Talking Heads.
Yeah, Naughty Bremen again. What I'd like the courts people to know that I get less than $300 per month from government, and I can't be taking my money, giving them all the time, and they doesn't bring the case up. They stop being indecent with Bremen, Darling, Ferguson. Thank you, Naughty.
All right, Bremen.
So
be safe and behave yourself. Don't bust no corn.
So rent to own, Senator Barnett Ellis, your thoughts on that? I know that this administration had something about, but I don't know how that turned out or if it's even still in effect. Do we know what's happening there?
You know what? We haven't received any update other than the announcement of the rent to own program. We haven't received any statistics, and if they are out there, we welcome hearing it because I am curious as to how that program how that program works and how that has worked and how many people have taken advantage of it. There are some peculiarities to rent to own.
I always thought it would be a more expensive process to do the rent to own route. I mean, I don't know.
It can be. It can be. It can also be, particularly if the owner is a private individual, it can be a risky process.
Right. Okay.
I was very interested in the comments the caller made about abolishing real property tax for certain persons who have, been paying real property tax for 25, 30 years.
Right.
We do need to look at ways to make the cost of living particularly affordable for persons with a fixed income, like pensioners. And so that is something that I will take back to the caucus for our consideration.
Good stuff there. One of the things that the Free National Movement recently announced is this program. I told everybody that I spoke to about this. Hate the name, but I love the concept. I think you guys call it child support, but it's a child benefit program. Tell us a little bit about that, how that came about, and why do you think it's important that project moves forward?
It's something that we, one of the callers spoke about not reinventing the wheel.
Right.
And it is a program that we have seen they've done in a pilot program that they've also done in the States. Something to help families. Child care is expensive. And sometimes it is that little extra that can help, that can put a child in daycare rather than being at home, and so they have the opportunity for socialization and other things like that. It is something that we definitely want to try out and see if it makes a difference. And definitely, if our results show the information coming out of the program is that it makes a difference, it's something that we would like to expand, because something that we hear when we walk the streets is people are just asking for that foot is on our neck. If you could just ease it up a little, just help us to breathe just a little more.
Right.
And I think programs such as that can absolutely help.
Naughty and MJ, and good afternoon to your guests. Here's what should be driving the conversation. As a Bahamian who has secured down payments for housing and can't get a call from the Department of Housing, it is the need for turnkey homes. Plenty of people can't buy a property then build as they are renting. Everyone is not living in their family homestead.
And that's why I spoke about there being a variety of options in terms of a housing plan. Some people want a bespoke home. They want to decide where the master bedroom goes, how the kitchen is laid out, whether it's an open plan. Some people want those options. There are others who I need some place that I can move into right now, and who would like a turnkey option. Again, there are also people who, need both the construction and the land. There are some people who have the land and just need help with the construction. And so you need to have a housing plan that meets all of those needs.
All right. Now, a couple of texts coming in.
Okay.
And then I got another question, obviously, regarding the headlines. But this is a text in. Good afternoon, Naughty. I'm a resident in Kalani. Can you ask Ms. Bonnet Ellis if she can do something with the tree and brush shrubs that are growing over into the road on the eastbound lane from Columbus Cove all the way up to Orange Hill Beach? It has become a big issue, and it's causing traffic to divert into other lanes.
I'm definitely going to drive by and have a look at that, and we'll see what we can do.
All right. So obviously, I'm getting the impression from this text that not much is being done presently out there, and maybe something should be done. And if my memory serves correctly, a lot of sand is being built up along those sides of the road. Whoever's got the contract to clean the roads from the sand is not removing the sand, but just putting it up to the side, so now it's taller than the sidewalk. And now that's going to build up, and that's going to become basically a dam when it rains again, because you've already built up sand there, so it's going to take time for that to erode, so now it's going to cause more flooding in that load zone. So obviously, that's something that needs to be addressed. But flooding island-wide, it affects Kalani, it affects Fort Charlotte, and right there where the two constituencies meet, there's a lot of flooding issues.
And that's also in the area where they're intending to build the new hospital.
Right.
And so there are lots of questions about what the impact of that hospital will have. One of the questions that we raised at the last town hall was whether they did an environmental impact after the tropical storm Imelda flooding, because that was new. We had not had flooding like that at that level in that area before. And so one of the things that the residents and myself pushed the government was, let's pause and do another environmental study, because what's changed? Because something has changed.
Right.
Because we've had this flooding. So let's, can we have another environmental impact to ensure that what the plans are for the hospital aren't going to cause further damage or cause this to be a reoccurring event? Because there were people in the room who still were without power because their homes had been so flooded,
right?
And it wasn't safe to turn the power on yet. But unfortunately, the government was very dismissive of those requests. But we need to do something about the flooding across the island, because what I've noticed, and I have to say, it was not something that I thought of before having to deal with it. What do you do with the water?
Right.
And if we could have a real reverse osmosis facility that we can take that water and put that water in, and it can, that water can be used for flushing toilets. It may not be good enough for drinking water, but it could be used for flushing toilets and other things. Then we're putting that water to use,
right,
rather than trying to pump it into another lake, which caused that lake to flood. That's what happened in Killarney. Or there were some people who tried to pump it directly back into the ocean, which then, the ocean was brown and it was very questionable. So we need to look at this, the flooding issue in a holistic, how do we prevent the flooding? And when we do have flooding, what do we do with the water?
Speaking of the flooding and that particular spot that they say that the new hospital they're intending to put it, what are your thoughts on the healthcare industry in general right now, that our public healthcare system? Because what we saw recently with what happened with Nurse Williams, and I'm so happy that she's back on the job, which is good. Because we really can't afford to lose any.
And 52
we need all nurses.
52 texted in and said he's glad to know that she's back on the job and back in the industry as well.
This is good. But the incident itself, what happened there, that still has a lot of questions attached to it. What are your thoughts on that whole episode?
So you asked two questions, but I'm going to answer the episode one first.
However you're comfortable.
No problem. I was very concerned about the episode because not only does the Freedom of Information Act, which is enacted, that particular part, have protection for whistleblowers, but the legislation that we have debated, although it's not been enacted,
right?
The protected information, that also has protection for whistleblowers. So the fact that the hospital or the PHA had a policy that punished people for whistleblowing or subjected them to disciplinary action is just, it's egregious, really. And, I don't particularly care how long that policy has been in place. That needs to change because that contradicts with the letter of the law in the Bahamas. But we've seen that pattern.
You guys should see Senator Barnett. She just put her legal hat on just now, this should not be happening.
No, it should not. We are supposed to be encouraging people to be whistleblowers, to tell us when something wrong is happening. And the thing is, the information that she revealed was not new information. The opposition particularly has been speaking out about the conditions of the hospital. I have been speaking out about the conditions of the hospital for years. And so, to punish her because she's not saying some dirty little secret. She's only confirming what people have been saying all along and that you've been trying to deny and push under the rug. But I am very glad that she has been reinstated and is back to work because, it's all hands on deck.
Absolutely.
The state of the healthcare system. So my grandparents were public servants. And my grandmother, whenever she got sick, take me to PMH. I'm a public servant. PMH is my hospital. Take me to PMH. And if she
used to be that way.
If she woke up in doctor's hospital, the first question was, why you didn't take me to PMH? Take me to PMH.
It used to be that way.
Okay? It used to be that way. So to see the state that the hospital is
now
in.
It's like, dear God, take me anywhere but PMH.
No, but the point is that there was a time where you had public servants that used our public facilities. These are the things that they govern. Now we have a situation where and I said it before, I'll say it again, a lot of times the politicians in this country do not have to live with the consequences of their governance. They go to the private facility instead of the public facility that they oversee, which is amazing. Growing up, it was not that way.
No, it was, like I said, she take me to PMH. I'm a public servant. That's where I belong. That's my hospital. That hospital is for me.
Right.
That hospital is for us. And so to see the state that it is in. And I get, as a politician, everybody sends you messages about what's going on.
Right.
And the stories are just horrendous. And you're like, this is not okay. Doctors should not have to be reusing things in operations. This is unacceptable. And whatever resources you have to divert to pay the vendors on time so that they could have the tools and medicines that they need, do it. And they like to complain, particularly in the Senate. They always comment about, how traveling is important and try to justify the level of travel, right? But when you see necessary, essential services that aren't happening because cash isn't there to pay vendors to get supplies, I'm sorry, the traveling, you don't know. No, where are your priorities? Your priorities ought to be here at home and providing the basic services that a government needs to provide. Let's start there.
I know there's no quick fix because we know that the hospital, like many of our institutions, have some legacy
issues.
Problems. But is there a fix? I mean, does anyone have an idea about how to fix what's happening down at PMH?
So there's a saying I say to my daughter all the time: how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I
like that one.
Yeah, one bite at a time. So somebody just has to start.
When it's big, you just gotta
start
it away. Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna fix it overnight, but you just gotta start it. You can't be like, oh, we can't fix it. Throw your hands up and be paralyzed. You gotta start.
All right, a couple of things. We got to get to the break. Mr. Producer's giving me the signal to get the break. So on the flip side of the break, we do need to address Mr. Pintard's comments last night regarding the claims and a probe into the bag of passports. Obviously, the OPM says it's not so. Mm-hmm. We're going to get into that.
We're going to talk a little bit about the Brooklyn Bridge.
Now we're going to
This Week in Review. So we got
and for those of you who yesterday called in and obviously got to corporate and legal, MJ has another Today I Learned segment for you coming up.
So I have another capsule today, and that's because of what happened with this BART. So I had to do a little research to figure out exactly what the laws are. Because I saw some of y'all playing.
Can I just interject, please?
Senator Barnett is a lawyer, but I see plenty of people playing lawyer online, giving people bad advice.
I can be, Do
not loot that ship.
Let me just interject.
Bad advice.
Let me just interject. I actually, and I'm used to it at this stage, but it could happen. I could actually win a debate against MJ.
We don't debate.
It hasn't happened in 22 years.
We don't debate.
That's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with second place, even if only two people in the race. All I'm saying is, I went out there today, and I remember something vaguely that my dad said back in the day. In case of an emergency, you have to take off the cargo containers to save the ship. So here I roll in and say, all right. If it's good enough for Daddy, it's good enough for me. Well, I ran headlong into a buzzsaw. Okay, people, I was like, she was like, no. Pump brakes. Don't think about you and Toby Smith going down there getting a new washer and dryer.
I'm seeing people tell people about this incident online. Come on.
Not legal. No, even if the ship tell you to take it off, you've got problems.
No, and I don't think that happened either. That didn't happen.
And in addition to that, on the flip side of the break, we have to talk about some of the international headlines.
Yeah, we have some reporting about this barge and it being looted coming out of different parts of the world, which is a bit embarrassing, I got to tell you guys.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, you cannot go down to Abaco and loot that ship.
Please stay away from that barge.
And today, MJ learned, and I learned too. And here's another segment today I learned with MJ right here on Talking Heads.
Today I learned that when a vessel runs aground in Bahamian waters, it doesn't magically become a community property. It becomes a regulated maritime casualty, locked under some of the strictest laws on our books, Bahamian and international. But before we get to the modern laws, let's be honest about our past.
And you're completely obsessed with treasure.
That's not true. I'm not obsessed with treasure.
No treasure is silver and gold, mate.
200 years ago, roughly the early to mid 1800s, Bahamians were, let's call it entrepreneurial. Our ancestors were world-class wreckers, lighting misleading fires along the shoreline so ships would run aground, then racing out at dawn to salvage everything not nailed down. For decades, especially between 1820 and 1860, wrecking was a major part of our GDP. But when Bahamians saw that grounded barge off Abaco and sprinted toward it, That wasn't an ancestral voice telling them to grab a washing machine or toilet tissue. That was plain old-fashioned, modern-day greed, because today we have different laws, serious laws. Under the Merchant Shipping Act of 1976, the moment a ship strands, it immediately falls under the control and jurisdiction of the port controller. Only authorized personnel may board, and only certified salvors may touch anything. The state can raise, remove, or even destroy the vessel and bill the owner for the entire thing. Add to that the Wreck Removal Convention, implemented in the Bahamas through the Merchant Shipping Wreck Removal Convention Regulations 2015, which adopt the Nairobi Convention of 2007. That treaty requires owners to report immediately, mark the wreck, insure it, and remove it when ordered. It also prohibits anyone else, including curious citizens, from tampering with the vessel, because doing so interferes with liability, insurance, and environmental protection. And if that isn't enough, there's the Penal Code of 1927, which still defines property as property. So removing anything without authority is against the law, even when it's sitting crooked on a reef. The Customs Management Act of 1976 kicks in too. Cargo recovered without declaration is smuggling. So nothing about a maritime incident magically turns cargo into souvenirs. Even the Abandoned Wreck Act of 1965, written for centuries-old wrecks, makes it illegal to enter or disturb a wreck without a license. If the law protects 200-year-old shipwrecks from adventurous fingertips, imagine how it treats a modern commercial barge under investigation. So yes, the videos of Bahamians climbing onto the stranded Brooklyn Bridge are embarrassing. But the deeper embarrassment is this: the authorities let it happen. And that forces us to ask the real questions. When was the government first alerted that the vessel was stranded on a reef? How quickly were the Port Department, Defense Force, and the environmental agencies mobilized? And why wasn't the area secured before opportunistic looters arrived and reenacted a 19th century Pirates of the Caribbean economic model on a 21st century barge? Because this wasn't just about a barge. This was a test of authority, control, readiness, and national discipline. And unfortunately, we failed on many fronts. So today I learned that while our history may be colorful, our present demands better, that our laws are clear, and that our agencies are faster. Because the Bahamas doesn't deserve another black eye that can sink our standing on the world stage.
You will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
This is MJ, and you're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
To my neighbors in Golden Isles, even the PLP candidate had to admit it. You've been ignored and neglected for years. 4 years in power, and now weeks before an election, they show up paving roads. But I never left you. I live here, I work here, and I serve you every single day. Let them know Golden Isles is not for sale. On November 24th, vote the name you know and trust. Ryan Brown and the Free National Movement. I never forgot.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
Feeding the crew? Fueling the cravings? There's something for everyone with the new KFC Fill-Up Box. Serving 6 juicy pieces of chicken, 4 buttery biscuits, crispy fries to share, and 12 premium original recipe KFC nuggets. All packed into one crave-worthy box. Not a crumb's gonna survive when the KFC box hits the table. So dig in and do whatever the crunch you want with the KFC Fill-Up Box. Only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Fire keep burning, can't cool, can't cool, can't cool. Yo, I more than coffee children.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, the Free National Movement, John's Department Store, Kelly's Home Center, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Prince Masters, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, and Tropical Gyros.
Get stronger, can't fool. The fire get redder, we see it. And the ice rate go reach. And I know the youth them see it. Them say go on, burn the fire, call and jig, go and teach. And the ice rate go reach. And I know the youth them see it. We can't free for them, so we must free for speak. And the ice rate go reach. And I know the youth them see it. Them say go on, burn the fire, call and jig, go and teach. And the ice rate go reach. And I know the youth them see it. We can't free for them. Yo, righteousness listen up at them, come reject. Be a corruption, yes, he said them are accept. Pan them earwaves and them internet. And what them televise, then I totally mess. Be up to them right, all in them concept.
All right, we're back at you on the Friday, November 14th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with Mary Jane and your company right up until 6 p.m. Going over just a little bit with our special guest, F&M ratified candidate for Kalani, Michael Barnett Ellis. Got a couple of things to talk about. You want me to knock these couple of texts out and then we can jump into the...
Our great texters.
Man, y'all got a lot today, boy. I can tell you. All right, here we go. Here's what should be driving the conversation as a payment. Okay, no, we got that one. There was another one on housing, though. I'll get to it. Okay. And this is a long one, but obviously involves housing. Naughty, under the F&M new housing legislation and policies, private individuals like myself can offer no money down rent to own home ownership, where the rent is equal to or less than a mortgage would be. The power is renters receive 2% per year credit of home value, not rent, up to 10% of home value, so they can stay as long as they want to rent, but only receive 5 years of credit.
Yeah, I don't know the math on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about the math. Not
Text
sure.
It's Friday at 5:08. Give me a second. I don't have my abacus close by, but...
But thank you for that text.
Okay, here's another one. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ and Senator. The nurse didn't do anything wrong. She told the truth. The problem was when she pleaded to the PM. That's why she was punished. So sad, Shaky Dover wasn't aware. I like how you're using that. I like how it's catching on.
You need to stop.
So shake a lot.
You need to stop.
Oh, no, by the way, Naughty, I like the way your wife presented that introduction. She needs to run for Bamboo Town. She has the aptitude and the...
Listen to me. Because you got... And then y'all want to call constituencies? No. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Miss Ellis, when the F&M government is looking for their new communications director in OPM, she's sitting right across from you. Disclaimer, she will not be a puppet.
All right, thank you guys. Let's
and
focus
I appreciate
on
that sentiment, but hold on. In my true Joe Pesci voice, and I agree with the texter, right? But texter, what am I? What am I, Spider? A freaking mirage? What am I, on a pain on mind list over here? What am I, invisible spider?
It is week in review, and
I mean, you get shot in the foot, you wonder why. No, sorry.
I'm so interested to hear the senator's thoughts on something
but texter, I agree wholeheartedly.
everybody's talking about today, which is what is happening with the barge that's stranded off Abaco. It's called the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, we've seen some local reporting on this. Looting is definitely happening. I think we're all pretty much convinced of that.
Yes, you can go and make plans this weekend to see if you could get there and get some leftover. No.
There was some reporting that 2 persons have been arrested already that were attempting to loot today.
But my question is, I saw some video today finally with some Defense Force officers, that one brave officer, climbing down the rope. But why did it take them so long to get there? It was you who introduced me to the international reports making the rounds, and I was like, oh God, more brand damage.
We're getting some international reporting on this. Apparently, the company that owns the barge is called Trailer Bridge. They're located or based in Jacksonville. Apparently, they reported an active robbery. That's the way an active robbery aboard their barge, the Brooklyn Bridge, on the evening of November 13th, with approximately 50 individuals looting cargo from the vessel while it sat stranded roughly 3 miles off the Bahamas. Now, the company apparently contacted the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. Navy to report the ongoing theft. Bahamian police dispatched a unit to respond, but, and this is not reporting from here, but international reporting, they're saying that the police declined to engage with those aboard the vessel, citing concerns about potential violence. And the CEO of Trailer Bridge, Mr. Mitch Luciano, says that this is a rapidly unfolding incident, and as of our last report, our barge was actively being robbed. Oh boy.
1 second. Text us. I don't know if you're serious or not, but I know how my Bahamian brothers go. Listen, all I can tell you is this. If I should happen to wake up in the morning and I find two wash machine, but 5 bags of that dog food, the 50-pound set, 100-pound set, the pile of the toilet paper, and the flat screen. The cars, me and MJ good on the cars. But if I should find out in the yard in the morning, I greatly appreciate it. That's what I want.
You're not going to find that in the yard. Mr. Luciano, his name is Mitch Luciano, who's the CEO of Trailer Bridge, is also quoted as saying, quote, our top priority is the safety of our personnel. We have alerted local Bahamian police as well as the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. Navy. Again, the situation is evolving quickly, and our priority is the safety of our people and our cargo. We will have further updates once the barge is secure, end quote. So, Senator.
Why are we so scary, man?
Senator, what do we make of this situation?
I have all kinds of questions, really. But I guess being the Bahamian, I want to know what damage it's done to our reef.
Absolutely. Environmental damage.
Well, no, sorry, not to cut you off, but that's the third barge in the Abacos. One is still run aground on a reef over there. It's rotting. It's become an eyesore. The debris is falling and affecting the reef there. This one is now on a reef. They had one floating aimlessly the other day, but they managed to rein that one in. But now this is the second barge that's run aground in Abaco.
From our end, there's been some reporting that apparently no damage has been done, but that sounds suspicious because if you hit
that math isn't math.
Yeah, you hit a reef.
If an iron cable that holds the tugboat and the barge together popped and caused it to run aground on a reef.
As long as into the reef.
Exactly. Right. As long as I know from time immemorial, from my dad, from my grandpa in school, run aground means you buck up on the reef, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
So and then you do it. Some damage.
And then you do it on the weekend from the Eastern Road. That means you had one gin and tonic too many, but we'll get it fixed at the marina on Monday. Not a problem.
But there's so much more.
There's a big greater impact. But no, that's what my question is. And now that you're saying that this is not a new occurrence,
just don't float up and rest on the reef. I'm going to just rest there delicately.
My question is also, how do we prevent this from happening? Do we need more lighthouses? What's going on? The looting, people, y'all, man, leave the people things on the boat, please.
Yeah, they want their things.
Leave the tide, leave the dog food, the paper towels,
and the washing machine.
I know they asked us to make the boat lighter so it could float, but I don't think they mean
Yeah.
permanently withhold the
I
stuff.
can't lie. When
No.
I saw the video, when MJ showed me the video, and said, "Look at those boxes, Walmart." I was like,
Yeah,
"Look,
once I saw Walmart,
that went
I was
over."
like, oh,
No,
boy.
when we saw
Oh,
when we saw
boy.
those videos, I mean, I squawked. I will, God is still working on me. I squawked. I squawked. But but really, you can't take the people things.
No. And
not to
I
an
think that-
international level where we're getting negative
I
pub.
think the police have put out a request that if you took anything off the barge or received anything that was taken off the barge, to go ahead and turn that in like now, because there is an active investigation and they will be
But
searching.
now my second question is,
and your picture all over
hold
social
on,
media.
Hold on now. Here comes the first 48 in me jumping out. Now they return the said missing items. So they say put them right here to the dock and just disappear. Just drop them off, no questions asked, they back.
Safe haven.
Now, if they drop off on 20 washes, I need to know the report going and say 20 washes was returned, not 10
19.
washes and 10 bag of dog food, but we know 100 bag of dog food come back.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And what if the company says, okay, these goods are now going to be covered by insurance, then they should be put up for auction and that money should go to the treasury or something like that.
Yes. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really
Maybe
good
Naughty
idea.
should run in Bamboo Town.
You understand?
No. I'm good. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking heads.
Hey, Naughty.
You setting records today, Raymond. What happened?
All
Oh, I hope so. I'm hearing 3 miles from the Bahamas, right? And I'm hearing reef, as if as though the reef are in the Bahamas. What's happening there?
Yeah, they're reporting. Obviously, the company is painting a particular picture right now. It looks a little different from the picture that we're painting on this end. But I guess we just have to let the investigation play out. Although I got to tell you, you guys posted a lot of videos to social media. Y'all
All right, Brayman. Have a good weekend. We'll talk Monday, Brayman.
Thanks, Brayman. All
Mr.
right.
Producer, don't forget I got to wait with you Sunday, you know. We can repay this in kind on Sunday. We need a You're trying to let Brayman set record for the most call-ins in one show.
Here's some texters. Hey, Naughty, do you want a washing machine, dog food, toilet paper?
I done answered that diplomatically.
All right. And this other one says, but Naughty, on a serious note, suppose one of those container had guns going to Puerto Rico. Oh,
they sell those
smart.
at Walmart too.
They sell those in Walmart. You're absolutely correct. This is serious business we're dealing with. Here's another text that says, hi, MJ and Naughty. We know this international outcry is an effort to set off the fine, but it's the government's fault for being so lackluster in its response to such matters. Slackness is killing us. This is not good stewardship.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly agree. I approve that message.
Yeah, no, the response has been telling, and I'm sure we'll wait for the commissioner of police, because the international press is reporting a particular response from the police,
Yes.
which I would not think would be a response that responsible police officer would give to the international press. So we need some clarification on that, because they're basically saying we allowed our law enforcement personnel to stand there and watch the people loot the barge and basically do nothing.
Well, that's the statement from the CEO said. So,
Right.
the lawyer and me, that's hearsay.
You understand? They're framing it.
They're framing a certain narrative.
Yep, I agree.
They're framing a certain narrative.
Texter, you got to listen for the replay. But MJ broke it down going into the break on Today I Learned. No, there is laws against it. MJ and Guest, what again, am I in a rush? MJ and Guest, is that true that there is no law against the looting that took place? Have
that
your
is-
guest confront? No.
Okay, we have a senator
You
here
can't do
who
that.
is also an attorney at law, and there has been some press releases that have come out from the government telling people to leave the stuff alone and that what they're doing is not legal. So, but Senator, please elaborate a little bit
and
more.
listen to MJ's Today I Learned. That's
Yeah.
what the segment's called.
Yes.
Listen to MJ's Today I Learned. It was a very concise explanation as to the laws with regards to looting. You have to remember that shipwrecking was a thing in the Bahamas
It was.
historically,
Yeah.
and they've obviously, as a result of that, over the years, developed legislation because that is illegal, and
Right.
so those laws still remain on the books.
Yes, please, people, stay away from, especially going today. I mean,
I like
really?
the way
You're
our
heading-
texters think though. Naughty, here's the solution. Take all the merchandise, set up an Abaco Walmart. You will relieve some of the populist problem in New Providence.
Everybody go run to, okay.
Everybody will fly to Abaco. Let's be real.
It's a Friday, y'all.
So Bahamian entrepreneurs, don't take it from the boat. But yes, set up an Abaco, don't call it Walmart.
You can't call it Walmart.
Walmart, WALLLMARRT, Walmart.
Spell it, do something. Salt Mart. Something. But,
yeah.
Take that wonderful business advice.
As they say in Abaco, Walmart, man, Walmart.
I mean, that headline in the Tribune was wild today. What, Christmas come early? That was wild.
But the dude said it on the boat. He called his boy, say, Christmas come early. Abaco, but you need to get down there, right? I mean,
it is too
much.
much.
And we need to stop recording everything, people. Not everything is for the gram.
Seriously. All right, another big story that's in the news
now
today.
Now we got to get to this.
Your leader, Mr. Pintard, made some very, very interesting. He made headlines. Last night on this, and I did get to see. I try as much as I can to watch all of the rallies because honestly, y'all look like y'all having a lot of fun out there.
We are.
Like all these rallies look like a lot of fun.
You should come.
So the leader of the Free National Movement, Mr. Michael Pintard, he claimed last night that the government fired people following an investigation that a bag of Bahamian passports were on board a Bahamas Air flight headed south. Now I know that he was questioned afterwards, and he said to wait, and he's waiting. He himself is waiting for, certain persons within the government to respond to this information that he has. What are your thoughts on, his comments? And just can you talk to us a little bit in general about immigration, because it has been something that has gotten the attention of a lot of Bahamians recently.
I think the last time I was here, we also talked about immigration. It remains to be one of the number one topics on the minds of Bahamians and concerns of the Bahamians, because we are concerned that there aren't proper checks and balances and controls in terms of who's coming into the country, who's leaving who's leading the country, and we need to know what's going on. The name of the game is accountability and transparency. We want to know what is happening in our immigration department. We want to see the numbers. How many applications of citizenship have they considered? How many have they approved? How many have they rejected? The name of the game is accountability. And if I've seen the statements by the Office of the Prime Minister.
What did you make of that?
I mean, I think just open up the books and show us what's going on.
Right.
Show us what's going on.
The tone was unusual in my estimation. I've never seen the word lie used like that in an official government communication. I don't like it in general. I think it has its place perhaps in partisan politics, because sometimes, we're in silly season. It's going to get there. But I view it a little bit differently when it's coming from an official, from one of our institutions.
I think the pattern you'll see from this particular administration is those lines are blurred. And they issue very political statements from state entities, which is entirely inappropriate. They need to learn to separate. The two, because they are the government of the Bahamas and for all Bahamians. Which you say, in your yellow shirt umbrella is entirely different.
Yeah, and I think that
in poor taste.
We'll try, but I think that's something that, because politics has gotten a lot divisive. And so maybe we're not understanding that there should be that separation. And I think the more we continue to
feed the division, feed the tribalism.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not. And the Bahamas will never succeed on F&Ms alone or PLPs alone. It succeeds when we work together to, common loftier goal, right? So I hope that we will begin to see and hope that the next generation, which I'm a part of, will bring a more civilized tone, because that's how you get things done.
We got a call to get to, and I got this text I'm going to get out of the way. Good afternoon, Naughty MJ and you guys. The international press is right on this one. Aaron read a statement from the Royal Bahamas Police Force senior officer this morning that stated, yes, it's illegal, but. So basically they stood there, watched the teeth, and said, okay.
And then released an official statement confirming that?
When the PM accused the lady from Food Drive, did he apologize when he was wrong about it?
No, he did not.
Boy, you see? Anyway, let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hey, what's happening?
What's happening, bro? What's going on? What you got for us today?
Man, listen.
I'm right here. Good evening.
I got you bring up, Miss Alicia. Okay, I got you bring up this thing with this rent to own. What is that? You either rent or you own the building. What's going on? You understand that terminology?
So the concept of rent to earn is that you pay rent and it accrues, and so you eventually over time pay the to use a legal word, consideration, pay the value of the building, and then it gets transferred into your name. Sorry.
Let me call you right back. I can hardly hear you.
All right, call back, and Mr. Producer will put us right through. I'll put you right through. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So hit us back, caller, and we'll make sure maybe your connection was just a little bad. But when I look at it, a lot of people this morning approached me off the headline from yesterday.
Right.
Mr. Pintard's statements. And you cannot tell certain people in this country that we have a problem. Like they're not trying to hear, what the OPM is saying. They within themselves know, look, we have a problem. We have an illegal migrant problem in this country. And they have examples where they break it down. And listen, if you flee anywhere in the world because you're persecuted for whatever reason, and you decide to come to this country the right way, build it up the right way, immerse yourself into who we are, our culture, and try to better this place, I have no problem with that. But if you come here illegally, trying to cut the line, shortcut Bahamians, make us second-class citizens in our own country, Houston, we have a problem. I can speak on it, and I can make noise, and I can beat up my gum on it, as every other Bahamian has a right to do. And it shouldn't be a problem. So there is a fear. There is a deep underlying and now overlying fear amongst Bahamians that there is something askew with our voting process based on the fact that they keep hearing the rumors and the noise in the market about illegals with our voting documents, passports, national insurance cards, permanent residency, that they got it like a shop.
I think, Senator Barnett, more trust in our institutions, more transparency and accountability that you talked about would help alleviate some of the fears that Bahamians have over this whole issue of immigration.
When you are, the Prime Minister has said that there's no immigration crisis. The PLP government has said there is no crisis. But when you see it, and you see record numbers, you hear the stories of citizenship being granted at funerals and on baseball fields. And
you heard that one too about the baseball fields? I heard that too.
Heard it all. But when these things are happening and then somebody is telling you that there is no crisis, you eyes the conch, I look fool.
Right.
And that's where that distrust is, because somebody is looking at you and not telling you, what you can plain the full story, which you can plainly see. I think that we're also at an era or at an age where we want to see transparency. We want to see accountability. We want to see what's going on. We're no longer just taking, this is no longer the days of because I said so.
Right.
We want to see, show us the records. So many applications you have gotten. Show us, how long they've been in the system. We want to see that. That's how we're going to trust what you're saying when we see the evidence for ourselves. And what is so wrong with that?
Let's get to the phone lines. That's what we want. A little bit of transparency, accountability, which seems to be alien to this administration. Talking Heads.
Hey.
Got you now loud and clear. You can hear us better now?
Yeah, I can hear you a little better.
All right, what you got for us?
I know you mortgage and then you own it, but this rent to own, I buy that. If you build a place and you want to mortgage it, then you own it. It's rent to own, so I don't know.
Sounds suspicious.
Sounds suspicious. Doesn't sit right with you.
No, that ain't making no sense. Now, the next thing with this immigration problem, we in trouble long time ago, and we allowed those people to come here and manifest. You ever check the obituary? You ever see how many children these people have to compare to the Bahamians? And they getting citizenship?
I can look more in depth at the obits because I read them, but I know it's morbid. But
check the newspaper obituary. Everybody from Haiti, they born Haiti, and when you look, they have average of 10 children.
All right.
And if they getting citizenship, And those children are, they're young children. Vega loses country gradually. I remember last time, it was a couple of years ago, when they say they had about 150,000 of them,
No,
and I think there's more now, but Quad, we got to get to some other calls.
Like a lot.
Good stuff.
Thank you so
Have
much,
a good
caller.
weekend, man. Appreciate you. Let's get to the other calls. Talking Heads.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Naughty. Good afternoon, MJ.
Good
I'm a
afternoon.
first-time caller.
Hi, first-time caller.
And I'm just calling to contribute on the immigration problem.
Sure.
I'm well in age, mature lady, and it has never, ever in my lifetime been this bad. I work in the urban development area. And I've gone to the grocery store in there, and everyone in there is speaking Creole, from the packers to the cashiers to the customers. I even went to Scotiabank, and there was a gentleman opening up an account with a brand spanking new passport and cannot speak a lick of English. He had a translator there to speak for him to the customer service officer. Tell me, which country can that happen other than the Bahamas?
That sounds extremely unusual.
That's wild.
Yeah, that sounds very unusual.
That's not the norm. That should be the norm
you're
everywhere.
not able to speak any English at all.
No English. The lady there, and it was interesting, she spoke Creole, but she was able to do the transition. She had a Bahamian dialect, but she spoke very fluent Creole, and she was speaking to the customer service rep as she was helping the gentleman fill out his application. And I'm thinking to myself, if he has a Bahamian passport, why can't he answer the question she's asking?
Yeah, that sounds very unusual.
I think you should be able to answer some questions in order to get that Bahamian passport.
I think the same thing.
Yes.
In order to assimilate to a certain society, to a country and a culture, you should go through a process. English is our main language. Why can't you speak it if you are now a Bahamian citizen?
Yeah, thank you so much, and don't be a stranger, first time caller.
Let's get to the other calls. Talking Heads.
Naughty, what's going on?
What's happening?
Naughty, you got it, man. You got it, Naughty. Naughty, listen. You have Ellis in the house, right?
I'm in the house.
Ellis, listen, we were fired up last night. But, Naughty, this is what I want to talk about. When the F&M comes in as the government, the F&M needs to stop all work permits and review every single work permit that came through this country. I want to share something with you, and I got to be a little bit secretive on it. But the reality is as a contractor, I have Haitians that have a wife in Haiti and a wife in the Bahamas.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh,
so
no.
that's how they're getting citizenship. So I'm trying to figure out who's reviewing all these things. Fred Mitchell is nothing but a fraud. Let me tell you something, it's hard to believe with all these complaints that we have found no fraudulent in this country concerning that. But I had a Mason, his wife was in Haiti, he had a wife here, and he now has citizenship. How is it they don't know that?
Good points, caller. I appreciate you calling. Don't be a stranger. Yeah, and I've heard that in not just the construction industry and other industries too. That it's surprising, but it's the same situation.
It's raising an interesting point, though. What is our vetting process like? Particularly because Haiti is one of those countries that their government is not functioning properly right now. So, what is the vetting process like?
The question is, what kind of vetting are they able to do, and are they even doing any vetting? And
Right.
these are the questions we want the Minister of Immigration to answer. How are you vetting persons if their government is in a state of disarray? How are you determining whether the documents that people are presenting to you to obtain citizenship are accurate?
Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Yeah, Naughty MJ, how y'all doing?
Good afternoon.
Evening, Senator Ellis.
Good evening.
Yeah, I believe that woman, yeah, baby, this is the way I've ever seen it too, baby. You have this one learn the next language. But, Naughty, remember, but earlier this year on the news, the new controller of the passport office, he found 12 passports underneath the drawer. And there are brand new passport ain't full of yet underneath the drawer. You remember that?
I remember a story circulating to that effect.
Yeah, it was right on the news. I saw it and everything. So where it was going. And then anyone that was accountable to get held accountable for them. or why they're trying to smuggle out them 12. So we don't know. They could be, they might have been on the way to Haiti too. So we don't know. But the system's like some of them is us. We selling out our own selves and things for money, selling out the passport, them and things. The people just for money. But Naughty, before I go, see if you can get the sister-in-law to knock up some of the pieces.
Listen.
For our Sunday morning game on 9:30 a.m.
I can call GNC if we could do it. If I get it, you gotta come pick it up from me. But that's all right. If I get it, you can get some. I make sure.
Yeah, man. I can tell you a little Tupperware bowl what you had in the fridge 2 days later. I could get that. Yeah, all right. Then let me know.
All right, we could do some sports on the flip side of the break coming up right now.
Okay.
Talking heads.
Good day.
Talking glass. What's going on, Big Dennis?
Hold on. Good day. I'm Mata MJ.
Good afternoon. Good day.
And good day, Lady Barnett Ellis, Senator.
Good day.
And good day to the beast. Classmate. Ladies first.
But you struggle, Dennis the Menace. What you got for me today, my brother?
Man, today, Barnes Ellis, I know you're there, but I want y'all to know that, they make 3 years I write to them, and they answer me yet.
This is a 3-year anniversary today?
Wow.
3 year, man.
No, 3 years.
We've been talking about this on this show for 3 years already, Dennis. My God.
No, they write to them, and they ask me about that, but and Miss Ellis, tell your daddy I say hello, because I can need you all to probably help me out dealing with these people, because they ain't do right by us, who's Bahamian, So, them people running around the place and doing the looting and what y'all saying about them passport. If you got squint eye and flat bongi and all them kind of thing. And all
Dennis,
kind of
you got me problem now.
Early, I see. All right.
Dennis, I appreciate you calling me Monday. You get the point, man. Have a good weekend. You can get Eric on my case in short order. Talking heads.
What's going on, Marty?
What's happening?
Well, the streets is talk when you on the radio.
What the streets saying?
Listen to this topic this evening. Fellas, them saying that what the leader of the opposition had to say last night, whether the story is the case or not, or he just was trying to lay out, what the state of affairs is that people are concerned about. Them on the talk on the road is passport for $15,000 on the road. That's the talk allegedly.
Oh, wow. I heard them same talks too, and I couldn't believe it.
And the next part of
and then I hear a voice note circulating allegedly from an immigration officer claiming that he needed $900 for the passport. He got somebody already, allegedly.
No, but it's sad when the state of affairs in our country come to this, where we can't even trust our institutions anymore, and so that's a grave concern.
I think a new voting bloc being formed is a grave concern to Bahamians, whether it is the case or not. I mean, it is a fear that Bahamians have.
But I'll lay out a more critical situation for you, Naughty. Just recently, you would have recalled a human smuggling situation where there were some Chinese individuals with a boat into Florida and this and that.
Correct.
So as I was doing my own independent research, I came across a case where there were some individuals found with Bahamian passports, legitimate Bahamian passports, that had fraudulent U.S. visas in these passports, attempting to get into the United States from Bimini. And they can refute this case if they want to. It's a legitimate case, and I've done my research. It was determined that during the investigation into these fraudulent visas, that there were letters provided by the Department of Immigration that substantiated these individuals' financial matters here in country. That's something I didn't even know that immigration did until I did this investigation or was following up on this investigation. The level of corruption that's taking place within the immigration or foreign aspect departments or ministries of our country is appalling, and nobody is saying anything for it. No one is answering. You speak to immigration officers, they are telling you they are concerned about the increased risk for those who work in interdiction now have as it relates to the job and people who are targeting them. Persons are concerned, but the powers that be seem to be more concerned about how this benefits them politically, and Bahamians are done with it. We're done with it. And so an immediate release about whether OPM said that they agreed, disagreed, or whatever, that doesn't go anywhere. The reality is what's going to be the circumstances to rectify this whole problem that we're facing as a country. Wherever there's smoke, there's fire, bro.
Well, perception is reality, and if Bahamians perceive it a certain way, that's going to be their reality. And we don't have anything right now, nothing substantial to say. People jumping up saying, no, this is not the case. You can say it's not the case, but I need you to prove it. Show me the records.
Hats off to the leader of the opposition last night and for bringing such an issue to the forefront, where we have a critical situation going on in our country as it relates to immigration status. I have immigration officers who are saying they stop people, and the people already have documentation. They arrest people, and in no time someone shows up with documentation. People aren't, I've been told recently, people, they ain't coming by boat no more because they can fly in
twice a week.
But the main reason I called in the midst of all of this, on the 25th of November, when every country in the region is doing something to hinder the amount of flow of persons out of the nation of Haiti right now because of their circumstances, on the 25th of November, we will be increasing flights into Haiti.
What?
Really?
On the 25th of November, you could, MJ, Michaela, or anybody in your studio can Google it right now.
That's why Lou be freaking out all over Facebook.
Website, you will see that on the 25th of November, we will be adding a third flight on Wednesday into Haiti.
We will definitely look at that.
I would like for you, the Guardian Radio, to be able to find out from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs the amount of Haitian visas that ministry have issued, and whether we have proof that amount of people have left this country when those visas have expired.
Good stuff.
Critical situation going on in our country.
Appreciate your caller. Good stuff. Enjoy your weekend.
And just to put a fine point on it, there was reporting in The Guardian back in February of this year that talked about an internal audit at the Passport Office and the Department of Immigration and National Insurance. It led to the discovery of several cases of fraud. That's according to Chief Passport Officer Nicholas Simonet. Simonet said, quote, around the world, identity fraud and document fraud are on the rise. It's nothing new. It's nothing new to the Passport Office. The Passport Office every year has been maintaining a large group of files that are suspected of being fraudulent. The only difference now is that we are taking action on these cases.
All right, before we get to the break, I want to thank Senator Bonnet Ellis.
Thank you for having
From
me.
the great constituency of Killarney.
Yes. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too, and obviously we'll have you back on again.
Of course.
Obviously, it'll be post Golden Hour, so we'll talk that. And obviously what your plans are leading up into the upcoming general election. But I appreciate you being so candid as always.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
We'll take a quick break right now. Flip side of the break, we'll talk some sports. I got my NFL picks lined up. MJ and I'll talk NBA as well. And we'll wrap
He's
things
just
up
going
and
to
get
teach
into the
me
weekend.
about my Spurs. So, yeah, you can have at it.
Wait, hold on. My Lakers got beat by the Thunder, must be by 30 points. I got nothing to say.
Okay.
I got nothing to say. I'm licking my own wound.
Senator Barrett, right quick before you go, what's your basketball team?
You know what? I'm a Laker hater. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm a Laker hater.
That's why I knew we were going to the break at that point.
Enough for me.
Yeah, let's go to the break. You don't like the Lakers, Nina? Go to you kiki and all day. What's going on? Go to the break.
More them try to beat me, then the more me get stronger. More them try to fool me, then the more me get wiser. Provoke me to hunger. And the more them try to stop me, and the more me reach further.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
If you set people's teeth on edge every time you step on the brakes, it's time you visit Muffler World on Mackey Street. They can take your brake rotors off, and if there's anything left, machine them shiny. Then their technicians will install new pads, and before you know it, you'll be able to stop without people calling social service on you. I know they're trying to hit my car. Children in the car. Muffler World can replace the whole package, including hoses, master cylinders, and more. For first-class brake work, stop by Muffler World on Mackey Street. Open Saturdays 8 till noon.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
There is a new king in town, and the only place to find him is at Burger King Nassau. Introducing the Cheesy Ring King, featuring 2 juicy flame grilled beef patties, stacked with American cheese, crisp bacon, sweet barbecue sauce, honey mustard, and the crown jewel, 3 golden mozzarella rings, served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. It's bigger, it's better, and it's cheesier. Want just cheese rings? They're available as a side too. Get the Cheesy Ring King at any of Burger King Nassau's 7 locations, available for a limited time only.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
We're back at you on the Friday, November 14th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and Mary Jane in the company right up until 6 p.m. We're going to wrap up with my NFL picks. All right, and don't forget, I want to remind you, join myself, Pearly, Mega, Stat Boy, and Clint J on Sunday, each and every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here for the Press Box. All brought to you, of course, by the Island Game, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, and Bud Light. All right, 11 to 1, getting you ready for all your football action as well as all your international sports. This week's been kind of busy. Got a lot of special guests, had a lot of hot topics, but I promise next week we'll get back to the usual, except for Tuesday.
What's happening on Tuesday?
Special guest is Mr. Michael Pintard, FNM leader and leader of the opposition, Mr. Michael Pintard. So
Yes.
that could go to full 2 hours. That will go to full 2 hours. And then we'll be back at you, like I said, next week, Wednesday. We also have another special guest. I tell you, I just make a call to Johnson Road.
Okay.
So we got Rick Fox. He'll be our special guest on Wednesday.
Good stuff.
So we'll chop it up with him. That could go over a little bit, but outside of that, Monday.
If you go over, it's a natural progression into
there you
sports.
go. That's what I had.
Hello.
And then Thursday is Pearly, and you get caught up with Pearly, and then Friday, MJ and I are back for Week in Review, and then obviously, we'll talk sports there as well too. But like I said, lots of games in the NBA tonight. Let's have a gander. You talking about, don't say nothing but your Spurs. I can't say nothing.
Can I just say this?
Got the brakes beat off them last night.
The only thing I was focused on, the only sports story yesterday, is Aaron Judge, who won the MVP award again, second time so he's back to back, and the list of Yankees who have won back to back is really short but extremely distinguished.
And if you look at Yankees who won back to back MVPs, some of them had some World Series rings the same time they won those back to back MVPs. So do better, Judge.
I know,
do
right?
better, Judge. Do better, Judge.
And on the other side,
still love you, Judge, but do better, damn it.
On the other side, which came as a surprise to no one, Shohei Ohtani won in the National League. So you have Shohei and Aaron. And did Shohei win last year?
I think he's back to back.
So both of them are back to back again. Wow, that is incredible. But yeah, they did really well this year.
And now baseball is officially quiet for about 4 weeks, and then pitchers and catchers report right after.
Really?
Well, no, right after the Christmas. But come January, pitchers and catchers report. They start warming up, and then April,
take
right
me out to the ballpark.
Take me out to the ballgame. So that means spring training starts late February and March.
Right.
And Don't Blink Home Run Derby coming up this December. Got to shout out Todd Jr. and Lucius.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah, man.
It's always
that's going to be
great.
off the chain. And we may have a Bo Bichette sighting, so I'm excited about that.
That'll be nice.
And we went and we saw the softball game this year. The ladies
And that was a
softball.
really great.
But guess what?
Great game.
They have the women's home run derby. They got 6
That's happening?
ladies from the softball teams coming in. They're going to have their own home run derby.
That
as well,
is pretty
too. So
awesome. Oh, that should be a lot of fun. Fun for
that's
everyone.
something for the family. They're going to have the food
Yeah.
and stuff out there. So that's going to be a good look and a good day. So we've got to mark the calendars for that so we can get out there. They actually wanted to know if you wanted to play in the Celebrity All-Star game this year. And I said, you'll be my co-host.
I can't.
We'll just sit there on the infield and have a few cocktails and just call the game.
And mind you, when I was younger, I was pretty good at softball. You know, like pretty good,
I
like
know.
above middling, not
You
like
can play.
great, but you know,
you could play
pretty good. But when I tried to play like a couple of years ago, because you know our sons and baseball, when you try to even trying to play baseball with those little kids, well, they weren't little kids, right? Like early teens. It's not as easy as it looks, swinging and hitting that ball when you have 13-year-olds throwing it at you at 70 miles per hour.
Well, no,
so.
they do the full lob. You know, it's a lot of fun. They make sure everybody gets involved. But I just know the last
I'm not going
celebrity game I went to, my knee was ballooned.
I am not going out there to
Was
embarrass
swelled
myself.
right up.
Bahamians like to record everything and put it on social media. No, thank you. I will just, I will just sit on the
was
side.
taking the media out that day, boy. Low blow
I
me
know,
in
right?
the knee. What do you name in the nose? Overdose
You
in the
can
nose.
get pictures of me sliding in the dirt.
Allah.
No, sir.
But we can sit in the infield.
And
you know,
enjoy.
I get you nice Chardonnay. You know, I got some Bud Light. Or we can do the Bud Lights. Sit right down the mound behind the pitcher and we'll call the
And
game.
enjoy. Yeah, that sounds like
that's
more
how we
fun
do
to
it.
me.
I think that's the best way to do it. All right, let me just give you some headlines from around Major League Sports. Jets head coach Aaron Glenn evaluating everything, including quarterback, the first string quarterback, but obviously he's also evaluating everything too because rumors have it that he's one and done in New York, so we'll see where that goes. Last Chance U coach Beam dies after being shot. That was something that I wanted to talk about. MJ, I'll tell you, Last Chance U was one of my Netflix favorites. I used to
You
watch
used to
that.
love watching that.
And very sadly, college football coach John Beam, who was featured in the Netflix series Last Chance U, has died after being shot on campus, the Oakland Police Department said on Friday, and a suspect has been arrested. Oakland Police Chief Floyd Mitchell announced the coach's death Friday, one day after the shooting. This was a very targeted incident, Assistant Chief James Berry said, adding that the suspect and Beam knew each other, and although they weren't close, the coach was open to helping everybody in the community.
Oh, boy.
So there's more details to come out of that, but very, very sad
stuff.
situation. And that's the second campus shooting in 2 days in Oakland. They had one on a high school, then they had that one on the college campus. And it claimed the life of Coach Beam, who everybody, if you are familiar with
that
Last
is
Chance U,
not good.
2020 season, 2021 season, and got a lot. Nishawn Wright, who played for the Cowboys, now plays for the Bears, and his brother, who plays for Seattle, went through his program and made it to the NFL. So it's,
Yeah.
it hits home. Duke lands the latest top 5 prospect in Williams. Read more if you're a college basketball fan on that. And Congress wants Major League Baseball answers on betting scandal.
Ooh.
So I think Major League Baseball, with this pitching scandal,
It's your time to come to the
step to the front of the class.
Step to the front of the class. It's your time on the mat.
All right, so we're going to look at the NBA tonight. I got my NFL picks to take you home on the weekend, but MJ and I will go over the NBA games tonight. And
Spurs over Warriors.
You already saw it?
Mm-hmm. I know that we're playing tonight.
And that's the last one, too.
I know we're playing tonight.
Lakers playing at 8, and you are playing 9:30. Sweetness. I love it. You can join your San Antonio Vicky Secret outfit.
It's too much information. Thank you. Roll it back. Roll it back. Thank you.
Do I get to be Wemby again?
You know what? I'm going to just zip my lip.
All right.
We're playing the Warriors tonight, and I think even though they beat us by 5 points and Steph was acting like Superman, I think we take this game tonight.
All right. The Heat and the Knicks play tonight. They're playing in New York. I like the Knicks to get it done over the Heat, but the Heat have been impressive so far, even dealing with all their injuries. Nets against the Magic. Nets are 1-10. Give me the Magic at home in that. That's an NBA Cup play, both of those 2 games. All of these games tonight, NBA Cup play. 76ers and the Pistons at 7:30. We can watch
great
VJ.
game. Love watching VJ.
And yes, thank you to my Bahamian brethren who, all 4 of y'all dudes who tracked down the post, shouted me out, and told you, boy, the hashtag CYC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good stuff. Proud Bahamian moment. Rockets over the Trailblazers. I like the Rockets at home in this one over the Trailblazers. I like the Bucks over the Hornets. I like the Timberwolves over the Kings. I like the Lakers over the Pelicans. I like the Clippers over the Mavericks. Both of these teams suck right now, but I think the Clippers are a little less snake-bitten than the Mavericks post Nico Harrison firing. And I like
Mavericks in disarray.
The locker room in Golden State a little bit disarray too, with Draymond popping off. I think everybody's tired of him popping off. So I'm gonna
Wait, what happened? I missed it.
Just more finger pointing, just moaning,
Draymond?
complaining, belly aching.
Oh boy,
he's become like the drunken
like an
uncle.
old curmudgeon, right?
Old curmudgeon, great. He's got like Fred.
Because he used to be a young curmudgeon, and now he's an old curmudgeon. Yeah.
So I'll go with you with the Spurs over the Warriors in that one. All right. And again, don't forget to join us for the Press Box on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. We're going to get to the break. I got my NFL picks taking us into the break or coming out of the break? Coming out of the break? Into the break. All right, I got all of my NFL picks coming into the break. 96, 52-1, I think, for the season.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
No.
I'll take it. All right, so enjoy that. Get your winners in for the weekend. And for MJ, for Pearlie, for Mr. Producer, and all of our special guests this week, this is your boy Naughty. Have a great, safe, blessed weekend. We'll see you Sunday for the Press Box and right back here Monday for Talking Heads. Say goodbye, MJ.
Goodbye, MJ.
Oh, God. You went there?
I did. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Naughty back at you with week 11 of my NFL picks, all brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. That's where we're playing and winning all season long. And don't forget, you have a shot to win an all-expense-paid trip to the Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California, all part of the Island Game's big final push promotion. For more information, simply log on to theislandgame.com. Also being brought to you by Green Parrot and Margaritaville, PI. And be sure to check them out for their awesome Thanksgiving menu. That's going to be off the chain, and they're going to have all the football games, and the Bud Lights, and the wing special, for them big Thanksgiving plates. And don't forget Bud Light, also a big sponsor. Each and every week hooking you up with Bud Light specials at Jimmy's Liquors. And don't forget, you can win Bud Light each and every week if you beat me in the picks. Just put your picks in the comments. All right, here's what I like this week. I went 9-5 last week, making me 96, 52-1 for the season. And here's what I like this week, starting on Thursday night. I like the Patriots over the Jets. Now let's move to Sunday. I like the Dolphins over the Commanders. I like the Panthers over the Falcons. I like the Bills over the Bucks. I like the Texans over the Titans. I like the Bears over the Vikings. I like the Packers over the Giants. I like the Bengals over the Steelers. I like the Chargers over the Jaguars. I like the Seahawks over the Rams. I like the 49ers over the Cardinals. I like the Ravens over the Browns. I like the Chiefs over the Broncos. I like the Lions over the Eagles. And to Monday Night Football, I like the Dallas Cowboys over the Las Vegas Raiders.
What happens when your faves team up? You get an original Asiago Bacon Club. Enjoy the iconic taste of KFC's 11 herbs and spices with a bite into KFC's original recipe chicken filet layered with Asiago cheese, crisp lettuce, tomato, bacon, our signature ranch, all on a golden brioche bun. KFC's original Asiago Bacon Club is made fresh, made right, available only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place, is your place.
To my neighbors in Golden Isles, even the PLP candidate had to admit it. You've been ignored and neglected for years. 4 years in power, and now weeks before an election, they show up paving roads. But I never left you. I live here, I work here, and I serve you every single day. Let them know Golden Isles is not for sale. On November 24th, vote the name you know and trust. Brian Brown, and the Free National Movement. I never forgot.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape. A Carib Greek fusion born right